You can't just give up on someone because the situation isn't ideal. Great relationships aren't great because they have no problems. They're great because both people care enough about the other person to find a way to make it work. You are not hard to love. Loving you is the easiest thing in this world that I have ever done. It's as if I was made to do it. My heart is so full of it. One look at you, and it's all I can feel. Pure, unconditional love. It is not hard to love you, my love. It is impossible not to. I read a quote that said, "She's an open book with empty pages, but for those who can see beyond words, she's full of stories." I still remember the butterflies I got when we first started talking. There's a reason why I remember them so vividly, and it's because I still get them to this day. My excitement for you never really went away. If I ever say you're pretty, I really mean you're my favorite smile, my favorite voice, my favorite face, my favorite person. To put it simply, there's not one part of you I don't want. I read a quote that said, "Trust the overthinker who tells you they love you. They have, most assuredly, thought of every reason not to." If I were to stare at your eyes for forever, I would tell people I saw the entire galaxy without even looking at the sky. And if you were the stars, I would devote my life to being an astronomer, if only to begin to understand your beauty. Find me where the crowd is less, the sky is blue and the wind is free. Find me in the midst of the forgotten, the abandoned. To the one who seeks my presence, find me in the company of the unseen. She asked me if I loved her, and all I could say was, "You are the other half of me." The day we met was the day everything started to make sense. The pieces of my life finally started to fall into place. Everything you do fills me with a joy I never knew I could feel, and I know that you are the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. If I ever say I love you more, I don't just mean I love you more than you love me. I mean I love you more than all the bad days ahead of us. I mean I love you more than any distance between us. I love you more than any person who tries to get between us. I love you more than any fight we ever have. I love you more than any imperfection you think you have. I mean I love you more than I love myself. I mean I love you more than everything. But the most beautiful things in life are not just things. They're people and places, memories and pictures. They're feelings and moments, and smiles and laughter. When he looked into her eyes, he learned the most important part of the language that all the world spoke. The language that everyone on earth was capable of understanding in their heart. It was love, something older than humanity, more ancient than the desert. What the boy felt at that moment was that he was in the presence of the only woman in his life, and that, with no need for words, she recognized the same thing. Because when you know the language, it's easy to understand that someone in the world awaits you, whether it's in the middle of the desert or in some great city. And when two such people encounter each other, the past and the future become unimportant. There is only that moment, and the incredible certainty that everything under the sun has been written by one hand only. It is the hand that evokes love and creates a twin soul for every person in the world. Without such love, one's dreams would have no meaning. A strong friendship doesn't need daily conversation, doesn't need togetherness. As long as the relationship lives in the heart, true friends will never part. Just when I had it all mapped out, the wind changed direction, and I lost my way. I tend to panic when I'm thrown off course, frantically trying to get back on track. But I'm starting to realize that I've been beating myself up for not being able to keep up with everyone else. But did I ever even question the destination? I don't even know what I want yet. Of course I don't know where I'm going. I guess I still don't know where I'm headed, but I'm not lost. I'm simply finding my way. She guessed my favorite color on the first try. But between you and me, I didn't even have a favorite color until she yelled out yellow. She was excited and smiling like a little kid. So I told her she was right, and I haven't seen yellow the same since. It's in everything. I could probably live in it now. She is the most beautiful pattern of beauty on the fabric of love. She is a poem and a painting too. Everything she said sounded like a song, and every silence was music. She is an old soul with young eyes, a vintage heart, and a beautiful mind.
How cool is it that the same God who created the mountains, the forests, and the stars, the God who designed the entire universe, looked at the earth and knew it needed one of you?
Do I love you to the moon and back? No, I love you more than that. I love you to the desert sands, the mountains, the stars, the planets, and I love you to the deepest sea, and deeper still through history. Before beyond, I love you then, I love you now. I'll love you when the sun's gone out, the moon's gone home and all the stars are fully grown. When I no longer say these words, I'll give them to the winds, the birds, so that they will still be heard. I love you. If I had a flower for every time I thought of you, I could walk in my garden forever. If you live to be 100, I want to live to be 100 minus 1 day, so I never have to live without you. My heart is, and always will be, yours. You will always be the one my heart searches for in a room, in a world full of everyone else. I don't think I'll ever know how to love someone else the way I love you. You are the last person I ever want to love like this, and I promise you that I will hold on to us until my hands are buried by the earth. I love you enough to fight for you, compromise for you, enough to miss you deeply no matter the length of time or how far apart we are, enough to believe in our relationship, to stand by your side, to hold your hand through the ups and downs, to have faith and strength in our relationship, to never give up on you. I love you enough to spend forever with you, making me realize no amount of time is ever enough, and even one day forever will run out. But I decided that will be fine, because getting to love you is worth it. I may never find words beautiful enough to describe all that you mean to me, but I will spend the rest of my life searching for them. They say that sometimes love starts with a spark, and that might be true, but if I were to wish you a love, I wouldn't wish fire for you. You see, fire is powerful. It burns bright and then it's gone. It's beautiful and warm, but it doesn't last long. So instead of wishing you a love that burns, I wish you a love like a river twists and turns. It changes and it flows. It is powerful and free, but it consistently finds its way back to the sea. And so like the water, I hope your love is ever growing, ever changing. I hope your love is powerful and free, and may you always find each other, like a river finds the sea. When she says, I miss you, but Rosamund Marriott Watson said, the spring sun shows me your shadow, the spring wind bears me your breath. You are mine for a passing moment, but I am yours to the death. It took me a long time to realize that not everything in life is meant to be a beautiful story. Not every person we feel something deep and moving with is meant to make a home within us, is meant to be a forever. Sometimes people come into our lives to teach us how to love, and sometimes people come into our lives to teach us how not to love, how not to settle, how not to shrink ourselves ever again. Yes, sometimes people leave, but that's okay, because their lessons always stay, and that is what matters. That is what remains. I don't think I'll ever know how to love someone else the way I love you. You are the last person I ever want to love like this, and I promise you that I will hold on to us until my hands are buried by the earth. I never used to understand how people could stare at paintings for hours and hours on end. Then I saw your face. I think I'd go back in time to the night we first met, just to live it all again. A Japanese legend once said, I will always choose you, even on the days we don't understand each other. You're the only person I want to love in the end. She asked me, how will I know you will always love me? And I told her, until the ocean runs dry and the mountains collapse, until the stars fade away and the planets collide, until the volcanoes explode and the icebergs elapse, until my hands are too weak to reach your face, until my lips can no longer form your name, until my heart stops and all life has passed away. My love for you, darling, will always remain. People say never expect anything in return from anyone, but the truth is, when you truly love someone, you naturally expect a little care and love from them. Most people want to live their lives knowing that they have people who will be there for them and show them just how loved they are. I like being alone, but that is why I knew you were different, because for the first time ever, I wanted someone else's company more than my own. I had never met a soul who could speak my language. Until there was you. You are fluent in me. I didn't fall in love with you because you made me feel special, or that you were everything I could have hoped for. I fell in love with you because you made me feel normal. You spoke to me instead of through me. You fought with me instead of leaving, and you always made me feel seen. I didn't fall in love with you for any special reason, other than that you made me feel like it's okay to be me. How beautiful is this quote written by a man in love? Since you've stolen the words from my lips and left me breathless, I have learned to write for you. And should my time come before yours, do not give me a headstone, but a rose bush. When you miss me, I'll still give you flowers. And when his time came, the world shed no tears for him as they laid him down to rest. Not for his cruelty, for he had none, but because he had loved deeply, and they knew he wasn't truly dying, merely journeying home to her.